Yahweh, flip me to the right page in your name. Thank you, Yeshua. Amen. Like streams of water in a dry country, like the shade of a huge rock in a parched land, then the eyes of those who see will not be blinded, and the ears of those who hear will listen, and the mind of the hasty will discern the truth. On every lofty mountain and on every high hill there will be streams running, standing of the God of Israel. Those who ear in mind will know the truth, and those who criticize will accept instruction. They could only whisper a prayer. Your chastening was upon them as the pregnant woman approached the time to give birth. She writhes and cries out in her labor pains, a refuge, and all who cast a line of Israel in the land will be a desolation, a lion upon the fugitives of Moab and upon the wicked. That would be like a club welding those who lift it up, O peoples, and be shattered, and give ear, O remote places of the earth. Grid yourselves, yet be shattered. Grid yourselves, yet be shattered. Devise a planet, but it will be thwarted. State a proposal, but it will not stand. For Eloah is with us. For thus the Lord Yahweh spoke to me with a mighty power and instructed me not to walk in the ways of this people, saying, you are not to say it is a conspiracy in regard to all that this people call a conspiracy. And you are not to fear what they fear or be in dread of it. It is the Lord Yahweh of hosts, whom you should regard as holy, and he shall be your fear, and he shall be your dread. Then he shall become a sanctuary, but to both the house of Israel a stone to strike and a rock to stumble over, and a snare and a trap for the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Many will stumble over them, then they will fall and be broken. They will even be snared and caught. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples, and I will wait for the Lord Yahweh, who is hiding his face from the house of Jacob. I will even look eagerly for him. Behold, I and the children whom the Lord Yahweh has given me are for signs and wonders in Israel from the Lord Yahweh of hosts, who dwells on Mount Zion. When they say to you, consult the mediums and the spiritists, who whisper and mutter, should not a people consult their God? Should they consult the dead on behalf of the living? To the law and to the testimony, if they do not speak according to this word, it is because they have no dawn. Because they have no dawn, they will pass through the land hard pressed and famished. And it will turn out that when they are hungry, they will be enraged and curse their kings and their gods as they face upward. Then they will look to the earth and behold distress and darkness, the gloom of anguish, and they will be driven away into darkness. Oh yes, darkness. Birth and reign of the Prince of Peace. But there will be no more gloom for her who has in anguish. In earlier times he will treat it the land of Zebulun, and the land of Nephtali, with contempt, but Nephtali. But later on, he shall make it glorious by the way of the sea, on the other side of Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in a dark land, the light will shine on them. You shall multiply the nation, you shall increase their gladness. They will be glad in your presence, as with the gladness of harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For you shall break the yoke of their burden and their staff on their shoulders, then the rod of their oppressor as at the battle of Madanin. For every boot of the booted warrior in battle, tumult, and a cloak rolled in blood will be for burning fuel, for the fire. For a child will be born to us, a son will be given to us, and the government will rest on his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Consoler, Mighty God, Eternal Father, Prince of Peace. There will be no end to the increase of his government or of peace, on the throne of David, over his kingdom to establish it, and it to uphold it with justice and righteousness from then on and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts, or the Lord Yahweh of hosts, will accomplish this. God's anger with Israel's arrogance, the Lord Yahweh sends a message against Jacob, and it falls on Israel, and all the people know it. That is Ephraim, and the inhabitants of Samaria exert in pride and in arrogance of heart. The bricks have fallen down, but we will rebuild with smooth stones. The sycamores. Okay, and my hand reaches up to the riches of the people like a nest, and as one gathers up abandoned eggs, I gathered all the earth, and there was not one that flapped its wings or opened its beak or chirped. Is the axe to boast itself over the one who chops with it? Is the saw to exalt itself over the one who wields it? that would be like a club, welding those who lift and give ear. All remote places of the earth is not wood. Therefore the Lord Yahweh of the Eloah of hosts will send a wasting disease among his strout warriors, and under his glory a fire will be kindled like a burning flame. And the light of Israel will become a fire, and his Holy One a flame. And it will burn, devour his thorns and his barriers in a single day. And it will destroy the glory of his forest and of his fruitful garden, both soul and body. And it will be as when a sick man wastes away, and the rest of the trees of his forest will be so small in number that a child could write them down. Now in that day the remnant of Israel and those of the house of Jacob who have escaped will never again rely on the one who struck them down, but will truly rely on the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel. A remnant will return, the remnant of Jacob, to the mighty God. For through your people, O Israel, may be like the sand of the sea. Only a remnant within them will return. A destruction is determined, overflowing with righteousness, for a complete destruction, one that is decreed. The Lord Yahweh, Eloah of hosts, will execute in the midst of the whole land.